There comes a time when you realize something that changes everything. Nobody cares. And that's not a bad thing. It's freedom. Stop waiting for someone to validate your effort. Stop expecting people to cheer you on. This is your life, your dream, your grind. When you're struggling, when you're hurting, when you're trying to build something out of nothing, people might sympathize, but they won't save you. They're too busy with their own lives. And that's okay. One of the most crippling habits people develop is the constant need for validation. From childhood, we are conditioned to seek approval, be it from parents, teachers, peers, or society at large. This habit, if left unchecked, carries into adulthood where individuals feel paralyzed without external confirmation. They hesitate to act, speak, or create unless someone gives them the green light. The truth is, living this way makes you a prisoner of opinions. It builds a life based on fear of judgment rather than personal conviction. You become a reflection of what others want, not who you truly are. The constant chase for validation becomes a cycle that drains your energy. You put something out into the world, an idea, a project, a dream, and if no one responds with claps, likes, or praise, you assume it wasn't good enough. But silence is not failure. It's simply the world minding its business, just as you should be minding yours. The idea that your worth or your effort only matters if it's acknowledged is a lie. When you detach from the need to be seen or applauded, you start working from a place of inner power. You become someone who moves forward regardless of who is watching. It is important to recognize that those whose opinions you chase are often uncertain about their own paths. They're not your judges, mentors, or saviors. They're just people. Most won't understand your goals, and some might never care. That's not because you aren't worthy. It's because their lives are filled with their own problems, dreams, and distractions. Depending on them for emotional fuel is unreliable. You cannot control their reactions, nor should you try. You can control, inspire, and trust you. Khara. Did they really believe India? Ayaya. Did they? When you stop expecting validation, you stop waiting, you no longer pause to hear claps before you continue. You move because you believe the movement itself is worthwhile. This mindset removes the limits and self-doubt that come from needing praise. You begin to create, act, speak, and live with a sense of ownership. This is when you truly become free, when your motivation is no longer tied to applause, but to your own mission. The world may not notice you at first, but that doesn't matter, because you're no longer doing it for them. You're doing it for you. Every person faces challenges, but the difference between growth and stagnation lies in how those struggles are handled. It's easy to fall into the trap of waiting for someone else to step in to rescue you from the weight of your circumstances. We often tell ourselves that someone should notice, someone should help, someone should care. But the harsh truth is This is your burden to carry. No matter how unfair or overwhelming it may seem, the responsibility for overcoming your pain belongs to you. The sooner you accept that, the sooner you can begin to rise above it. Taking ownership of your struggle doesn't mean blaming yourself for everything. It means understanding that healing, progress, and action begin with you. Life is unpredictable. It can hit hard and without warning. You may find yourself dealing with financial hardship, emotional trauma, failure, or loneliness. And during those times, it's natural to wish for support. But relying on others to fix your situation often leads to disappointment and delays your progress. The people around you may care, but they're limited in how much they can help. Most are battling their own inner wars, unable to carry the weight of yours. It is in these quiet, solitary moments that your real strength is revealed. Not when someone lifts you, but when you force yourself to stand up, even though your legs are shaking. The most powerful people in the world are not those who had everything handed to them. They are the ones who walked through fire alone. They are the ones who suffered in silence, cried in the dark, and still showed up the next day. There is something sacred about taking responsibility for your journey. It gives you a sense of control in a chaotic world. When you stop pointing fingers and start asking, what can I do to change this? You shift from victim to warrior. And that mindset shift is everything. It's not about pretending everything is okay. It's about refusing to let pain define your future. Responsibility doesn't mean isolation. It means empowerment. When you take full ownership of your struggle, you stop waiting for rescue and start building your own ladder. You learn, adapt, and grow stronger because you have no choice but to keep going. And with every obstacle you conquer, you become more resilient, more confident, and more self-reliant. The more you face the hard things on your own, the more you realize just how capable you really are. No one else can do it for you. And that's exactly why you must rise. We live in a world that constantly measures success through applause, recognition, and popularity. But when the noise fades and the lights dim, what you are left with is your own belief in yourself. That belief is what sustains you through rejection, failure, and long periods of unnoticed effort. It's easy to feel motivated when people are cheering you on, but the real test is whether you can keep going when the audience is gone. Self-belief acts as the fuel that keeps your fire burning even when the world turns cold. Without it, even the brightest talents fade. With it, even the smallest step forward feels like a victory. External praise is fleeting. One day they applaud, the next day they forget. If you base your self-worth on how others respond to your actions, your confidence will constantly fluctuate. You'll rise and fall based on someone else's perception. But when you root your identity in self-belief, you create a steady foundation that doesn't waver. You start showing up not because of who's watching, but because you know you're building something valuable. You're not just working for results. You're working because it matters to you. This internal drive makes you unstoppable because it isn't dependent on anyone else. Believing in yourself isn't about arrogance or ego. It's about trust. It's trusting that even if you fail, you'll learn. that even if the world says no, you'll find a way to say yes to yourself. It's knowing your worth even when others don't see it yet. It's continuing to speak, write, build, or train because you know your vision is worth pursuing. Many people give up simply because they didn't hear the applause they were expecting. But those who persist are the ones who understand that greatness is born in solitude. It's not the praise that shapes them. It's the quiet confidence they carry deep within. The world may doubt you, but it only matters if you doubt yourself. When you believe in your mission, your ability, and your purpose, you don't need outside approval to move forward. You become your own biggest supporter. This is not an easy mindset to build. It takes daily reminders, resilience, and self-reflection. But once you have it, you become powerful in ways others can't comprehend. Self-belief becomes your armor. It shields you from negativity and strengthens your commitment. And most importantly, it keeps you grounded when the world tries to shake you. In the quiet, when the noise of the world fades and no one is watching, true resilience is built. Many people associate growth with visible milestones, trophies, promotions, applause. But real transformation happens behind closed doors. It happens in those lonely hours when you are working, practicing, reflecting, and pushing forward with no external motivation. When there is no audience to impress, you're left with nothing but your willpower and purpose. That's when you either break or break through. In silence, you confront your weaknesses, fears, and insecurities. And through that confrontation, you grow stronger. Silence strips away the distractions and forces you to focus solely on the work. It demands discipline because there's no instant gratification, no likes, no comments, no recognition, just the raw grind. Many people quit because they mistake silence for failure, not realizing it's actually a sign that they're in the deep part of their journey. It's the period where foundations are laid, just like seeds buried underground take root before sprouting above the surface. Your character takes root in those silent seasons of effort. You learn to trust your path, even when it's not being validated by the outside world. There is something profoundly powerful about those who continue to show up even when no one notices. It's easy to give your best when you're being praised, but it's admirable to stay consistent when you're being ignored. That kind of quiet persistence is what separates the committed from the casual. Resilience isn't built in moments of celebration. It's shaped in moments of solitude. When you keep showing up for your goals, despite fatigue, failure, or doubt. These are the moments that teach you who you are and what you're truly capable of when everything else is stripped away. Eventually, the silence gives birth to something incredible. The silence builds a foundation so strong that when the noise finally arrives, you are not shaken by it. Instead of needing the world to notice you, you become someone the world can't ignore. Every decision you make today is a brick in the foundation of your future. Most people live in reaction to the present, how they feel now, what others think now, what's convenient now. But those who achieve long-term success understand the value of acting for their future self. The person you want to become is shaped by the actions you take when it's inconvenient, unrecognized, and difficult. Doing it for your future self means having the vision and patience to invest in the long game. It's a commitment to growth, not comfort. Think about who you want to be in 5 or 10 years. That version of you is not going to magically appear. It is the result of thousands of small, deliberate choices made daily. When you show up to train, study, work, or build, even when you're tired, you're honoring that future version of yourself. You're saying, I see you, I believe in you, and I'm willing to make sacrifices now so you can thrive later. That kind of mindset brings purpose to your present actions. It transforms discipline from a burden into an act of self-respect. It's also a mindset that helps you break free from external distractions. When you're doing it for your future self, you're no longer trying to prove anything to anyone else. You become internally motivated, grounded by your own vision. Other people may not understand why you work so hard. They may mock your routines or dismiss your sacrifices. But you don't need them to get it. You're not doing it to impress them. You're doing it so you can look in the mirror one day and say, I kept my promise to myself. The future may seem far away, but it's being built right now. Every time you choose to stay consistent, you're shaping that reality. The time will pass regardless, but whether it brings regret or reward is up to you. Doing it for your future self gives you clarity, resilience, and motivation. It ensures that when tomorrow arrives, you'll be ready, not because you got lucky, but because you worked for it. When nobody else was watching or clapping. Your future self deserves the best, and only you can deliver. Every decision you make today is a brick in the foundation of your future. Most people live in reaction to the present, how they feel now, what others think now, what's convenient now. But those who achieve long-term success understand the value of acting for their future self. The person you want to become is shaped by the actions you take when it's inconvenient, unrecognized, and difficult. Doing it for your future self means having the vision and patience to invest in the long game. It's a commitment to growth, not comfort. Think about who you want to be in 5 or 10 years. That version of you is not going to magically appear. It is the result of thousands of small, deliberate choices made daily. When you show up to train, study, work, or build, even when you're tired, you're honoring that future version of yourself. You're saying, I see you, I believe in you, and I'm willing to make sacrifices now so you can thrive later. That kind of mindset brings purpose to your present actions. It transforms discipline from a burden into an act of self-respect. It's also a mindset that helps you break free from external distractions. When you're doing it for your future self, you're no longer trying to prove anything to anyone else. You become internally motivated, grounded by your own vision. Other people may not understand why you work so hard. They may mock your routines or dismiss your sacrifices. But you don't need them to get it. You're not doing it to impress them. You're doing it so you can look in the mirror one day and say, I kept my promise to myself. The future may seem far away, but it's being built right now. Every time you choose to stay consistent, you're shaping that reality. The time will pass regardless. But whether it brings regret or reward is up to you. Doing it for your future self gives you clarity, resilience, and motivation. It ensures that when tomorrow arrives, you'll be ready. Not because you got lucky, but because you worked for it when nobody else was watching or clapping. Your future self deserves the best, and only you can deliver that. You made that the million rests. In today's world, even if it's ignored exhaustion, they lose expressive. Those who lead the crowd are the ones who first ignored. They excrepit you. They lose, get distracted. They lose. The Vizig crowd, if you want to lead, you must first learn how to walk alone. You must learn how to value your vision over validation. Oh, so did you know Atara? It seems crowds often resist those who are different. They mock those who dare to dream big or act boldly. But every leader was once doubted, questioned, or ignored. If you base your actions on public opinion, you'll never rise beyond the average. You'll spend your life chasing trends instead of creating them. Leaders are not shaped by praise. They're shaped by purpose. They understand that the crowd's attention is fickle, and that lasting impact comes from staying true to your path, no matter how lonely it feels at first. Greatness demands focus, and focus requires silence. When you stop worrying about the crowd, you begin to hear your own voice clearly. You start making decisions based on what aligns with your goals, not what will earn you likes or applause. This level of independence can feel isolating at first, but it's the birthplace of innovation. The crowd follows comfort. Leaders chase vision. You must be willing to stand in that uncertainty and trust the process. Eventually, when your consistency starts to yield results, the crowd begins to shift. The same people who once questioned you will start to admire you. But by then it won't matter, because you've trained yourself to move with intention, not reaction. You've already built momentum based on your own compass. You didn't wait for the crowd to believe in you. You led them by believing in yourself. And that is how real leadership is born. Not from popularity, but from persistence. We're taught to define winning through trophies, rankings, money, and recognition. But the most meaningful victories happen before any of that is visible. They happen within you in the form of discipline, courage, and relentless self-improvement. Winning is internal first, because if you conquer your mind, Nothing else can truly defeat you. That inner work, the kind no one sees, is what sets champions apart. You can fake success on the outside, but if your mindset isn't aligned, it won't last. Internal victory is the foundation for everything else. The inner game is where most people lose long before they fail externally. They give up when they feel tired, they quit when things get tough, or they slow down when applause fades. But those who win internally keep going regardless of circumstances. They've trained their minds to find strength in struggle, clarity in chaos, and hope in hardship. This inner resilience is what helps them show up when it's hard, keep going when it's lonely, and push through when no one believes in them. When your motivation is rooted in internal goals, like personal growth, fulfillment, and integrity, you become far more consistent. You're not easily swayed by criticism, distractions, or comparison. Your identity isn't tied to outcomes but to effort. This kind of internal stability is rare and powerful. It gives you peace in the process because you know you're aligned with your purpose. Whether or not others notice, you continue. Whether or not the outcome is perfect, you grow. And that in itself is winning. External success might impress others, but internal success empowers you. It gives you confidence that isn't dependent on results or praise. When you've already won the battle within, over self-doubt, laziness, fear, and distraction, you become unshakable. And eventually those inner victories begin to manifest in the outer world. But by then, you don't crave the attention. You already become who you set out to be. The outside just starts to reflect what you have already built on the inside. So in the end, remember this. You are not here to live for the applause of others. You are here to honor your own potential. The world may not notice your effort right away. People may not understand your discipline, your late nights, or your silent battles. But that's not their role. This journey belongs to you. Every step you take without validation, every goal you chase without recognition, is a powerful declaration. I am doing this for me. And that, more than anything, is what will carry you forward. Not the noise, not the approval, just your unshakable commitment to becoming the person you were meant to be